Innocence could not keep a promise made in fear. He bore witness and testimony to the mother of two, and it was decided between mother and son that sin was beyond rule and redemption, that only purification could cleanse his burgeoning corruption. So she conspires with one of her sons to murder her other son because the guy's a little shit. Rather than thinking, he's just he's a kid, he's out of control, but, he can be saved. Oh, no, no, we must burn him to death. She's a terrible mother. She's utterly terrible. She should be on the pyre. Fucking do a, victory dance in front of it. Like, she's a terrible parent. Like, fuck. Back in a sec. Zombie. And let me just alt-tab for a second, and yeah, you can hear me just fine. Though this upcoming boss fight might put that to the test. Uh-huh.
The world must be cleansed of impurity.
Oop. Oop. Have to avoid these attacks. These are meant to be really meaty and not the kind of thing you want to get hit by. Uh-huh. So, Ems, how is the Grand Crusade going? Thunder was just thinking there for a moment of Total War. I was thinking Warhammer 40k. Then I drifted into the Total War Hammer games. Well, Total War Warhammer. Uh-huh. That's what we all say. Whoa. Damn it, I thought the statue could block it. Ow. But yeah, man, I'm thinking like a Total War 40k game. Oh, ow! You didn't telegraph that. Make minions, make minions, make minions. Prayer guards. I hate those. We don't have to kill these, we could just run away from them if we so please. And eventually he'll switch back. But, if I got a chance to make minions, I have a little horde ready to beat him down. Whoa! I'm glad I have the movement speed I have. Emps could have killed me easily. But yeah, Total War 40k would be cool. But yeah, maybe I'll just try those Dawn of War games. To be honest, I just really want to go play Total War again.
Innocence. You and only you, I shall save.
Okay, that was very loud, that fight. I hope you could actually hear me. It seems like my commentary was around the same level, if not higher. Like, just from what I'm saying now. So I'm hoping it's fine, but haven't a clue. But yeah, suddenly just end up stumbling into the idea of, Warhammer 40k, like Total War game. No. I just really want to play Total War again, so, yeah. Now I'm thinking Path of Exile Total War game. Just everything Total War. It wouldn't work, but you know, I know. I just got an itch for that kind of RTS.
I am Sin, the Forgotten One. Would that humanity could forget all of my kind. Perhaps with your help, that might still come to pass. For now, the blinding light has been dimmed, and darkness floods in to fill the void. The desperate and depraved set a feast for their lord incumbent, Kitava, the Ravenous One.
But he's a bro now! First cutscene in game. Cool little thing.
Deep in the Templar's ossuary, in the company of the dead, there lies the sign of purity. Innocence bled himself for the creation of that cruel and desperate weapon. Tempered in his own ruby ichor, it was forged to be a transcendent tool of punishment and purification. The sign is a living agent of righteousness, or at least the dubious kind of righteousness that my brother subscribes to. Innocence found in the first High Templar a most faithful servant, and gifted the sign to him so that it might be used in times of great need. The great need of Innocence believers, that is. Humanity's general well-being has never been of particular concern to my brother.
Innocence is a prick since the bro god. You know, kind of guy you can go around having a drink with, you know? As you might be gathering already.
Though I am a god, I have not forgotten my humanity. I care for that which I once was. Kitava remembers nothing and cares for nothing but his own hunger and greed. He is an endless pit of gnashing teeth and churning guts. While other gods rise on the mainland and fight for the meager scraps of what was, Kitava has the most fecund and formidable civilization of his age at his disposal. He can feed when he likes, and he grows ever stronger with each morsel. All of Avarius shall soon belong to Kitava, and if that happens, he will rise beyond even our reach.
I do like Sin's voice here. Like the voice actor. But, the voice form. I like the voice.
He lives, after a fashion. That pretentious little vessel of his served only to encourage his divine follies. I have procured him a more sensible host, one that should contain his excesses and temper that fragile ego of his. Hear this, brother. From mind of lead to heart of gold, your soul shall be bound, your wrath shall grow cold.
Nice little rhyme. Nice little ditty.
I am...
So, mind of lead to heart of gold. Basically, from a dumbass to a guy that's pretty sound. Chamber of Innocence, Chamber of Innocence. Works it this way, and we're here. And here's Banon.
What in damnation have you done?
I fucked up a god! High five me, bro!
Destroyed him, and yet I hear the voice of Innocence, begging for our forgiveness, asking for our help. You and I. I heard him the moment the High Templar fell, whispering inside my damn skull, his heart beating within my chest. Innocence protects us now, holds fast the door against the murderous tide that rushes to meet us. He wants you to pass through that door, to bring order to the chaos beyond. I don't understand any of this. Moments ago I was just a soldier obeying his High Templar, Banon the Nobody. Now, my God lays inside my head, telling me to let you through that door and to make my way to Overseer's Tower, if it still stands. It does? All right. I don't know what's waiting for you out there, but should you survive it, I'll see you at Overseer's Tower.
I like Banon. He's a good guy. Like Sin said, heart of gold. Actually, that's pretty fitting with Emps. He loved you know, everything gold. Need to get back to watching Texas Speech Device. I haven't watched that in a while. Just walking in the fire, just shrugging it off. Ooh, battle sword.
Far too much baggage.
I wonder if the whole, you know, Abyss thing was added in later on in the game. Like, after I finished my original playthrough of Avarius. So will I find them here, like in the main campaign, or will I find them in the maps? I'm really puzzled on the whole thing. Oh no, Katava worshippers lied to us. No. How could that be? It's not as if Katava's an evil god.
Far too much baggage.
And I know this isn't quite as, you know, perfect as the ones the other guys got, where, you know, Calm got everything he wanted, so did Duresso. But maybe that's just the kind of people our character is, you know, the kind of person our character is. They need, you know, trial, they need adversity, and to rise above it. They need, yeah, make mistakes, but then rise to right it, and, you know, they need that kind of thing. So it doesn't necessarily negate my idea. It's, you know, still it's still an option there on the dance floor, you know. And I'm hoping the audio isn't too out, because it keeps feeling too out to me. But again, what I hear and what you hear is different. And then I keep tapping it out and seeing the audio bar really high, and it's terrifying. Wish I was on the proper audio settings. Then again, maybe they were also questionable as well, but I didn't know because I wasn't listening and I didn't have the proper bar bouncing up and down. The one in XSplit, it bounces up and down meaninglessly. One bar can be above the other, but in reality, the lower one is the louder one. So, yeah. There's no way to access the old version of this place. We're stuck with this version now. Also, a ton of, you know, the there's sanguines, like there's the Justicars, the wards that we fought here previously, and they're all now on Katava's side. So they quickly swap sides. Were they double agents, or is Katava somehow controlling them? Ah, good, I can get in. With this bit here, you know, disconnected, I was wondering.
Hello.
In. Two must survive. Whoa. Bring him down. Bring him down. Come on. Fuck. In. Just completely ambushed. I'm probably not going to do this. Funny what you learn to do while you're dead. Typically, people don't learn on. Christ. There's just too many of them. I'm not sure how best to deal with this. Okay, I need to move away from that banner. The banner does damage to me and heals them. Since those banners were stacked on each other, I couldn't dispatch it. And I've about to fail. Annoying. I did what I could, but regrettably those missions are just too burly. Like out here, I can handle these guys fine, but the ones inside, those ones are just too hard. And the timed aspect of them makes it all worse. I'm not sure what's necessarily going wrong. Maybe there's a trick to it that I just don't know. I presume so. Somewhere this way is the way out. Oh, someone got butchered. Ooh, yes, you.
Far too much baggage.
Okay, moving on. Like I was saying before about the whole Caraway waiting. Yeah, actually I'm not really sure how much Katava is in line with that, but basically like I was making a point in the video before and I think it was lost because of the, you know, exploit issue, but it was the, you know, it was just from like what you'll be hearing, it's easy to see that, you know, Empire bad, Kurari good. But the Empire was bad, but they weren't angels themselves. So, yeah, because, like, yeah, the Empire, not the nicest of places, nor is Oriat, but similarly, the Kurari, or however you pronounce her name, well, that, you know, that if you're just looking at them as factions, broad strokes kind of thing, they're not without fault either. So, basically, it's just realms of shit. Wherever you go, it just, you know, it's water world, but instead of water, it's shit. Basically, you know? Still starring Kevin Costner, though. That was the guy in Waterworld, right? I have no idea. I'm just surprised, like, suddenly all the enemies that we would have fought that was on the Oriatan side are suddenly like, the men are warped and are enemies now. Actually, yeah, they have the same, like, X thing that Katava has. I guess he's after twisting them. God damn, so many nets. I think I was in a red light district. Fish nets. Can't really get a good look at these guys. I'm gonna keep walking around and killing because actually let's head back to Lani for a moment and see what people back at base have to say. Then we'll pop back here. I might be able to get a quest for another quest for the Osprey. Actually, I could probably get this stuff even without the quest. Still, I'll go get it. Might be the Osprey, might be somewhere else that I have to go, and it's handy to know.
You deserve recognition for what you have done. You've freed us from Templar oppression. Yet I fear you may have defeated the lesser of two evils. Still, take something. You'll be needing it in the dark times to come.
Oh, okay, I didn't think of these. What's this? Minions deal 15% increase to damage with at least 40 intelligence and radius. Raise zombies slam attack. Has 100% increased cooldown and recovery speed. And it does 30% increased damage. Rage, malice, hunger. Some traits are more easily carried across the barrier of death. Cadaverous, surgeon to the Umbra. Cadaverous. No wonder he works with fucking zombies. 8% increased global physical damage with at least 40 strength and radius. Ground Slam has with at least 40 strength and radius. Ground Slam is it's Ground Slam gem, no interest. Increased fire damage. Oh, it's a Molten Strike thing. Molten Strike fires 2 additional projectiles and has a 25% increased area of effect. News of Calm's victory in the south spread quickly. Those in support of the coming rebellion bided their time. The rest fled like rats from a fire. It's 15% global physical damage increase, but it's for cleave. Shrapnel shot, ice shot, frost blades, ethereal knives, freezing pulse, frost bolt, magma orb, blight, zombies, and spark. I'm gonna go. Well, that is tempting. I'm gonna go with the Molten Strike one.
Once Kitava has gobbled up every scrap of Oriathan flesh, sucked every Oriathan bone dry of marrow, he'll turn his endless hunger to Namakanui and the whole Karui archipelago. As you know, the Karui will fight, and they'll fight hard, but they're going to need all the help they can get. And I know of 3 treasures that might just make the difference. They were taken when the Templar raided Namakanui. A whip woven of Hinekora's hair. A tooth that Tukohama ripped from his own mouth. A fishhook that was once the jawbone of Valakor. Together, they're known as Kitava's torments, and lie within the reliquary that borders Oriath Square. I saw them with my own eyes when delivering messages to the scholars there. Please, go to the reliquary and claim those treasures before Kitava's children do.
To be honest, I'm thinking these would actually be pretty useful for us, given we're the ones going to fight the dude. But sure, let's give other people a better chance at fighting him. Why not?
I can't yet begin to unpick the lies that Utula has told us. But this piece of truth I do have. Utula sensed that very moment when you struck your final blow, when you broke the Templar's power. He turned to me and told me this. Now our king comes to us. He'll be hungry, so very hungry. I shall prepare him a feast. Then he gathered his followers and left. Where's he gone? Oriath Square. You won't need directions. Just follow the screams.
I'll just be like spinning on the spot, so.
For freedom.
Hello. I told you so. What more need I say?
You won't be saying that in Act 10.
The sign of purity, yes. A descry staff that piety sent me to study at one point. Apparently it was a gift from Innocence to the first High Templar, Avarius. Dominus couldn't even bear to touch the thing, so he had it locked up in the ossuary. Quite reactive behavior for a man of such formidable intellect, yet now it's making a little more sense. The staff was certainly able to conduct and store energy, yet remained inert when I applied corruption to it. It must only respond to divine energy, and with corruption and divinity being diametrically opposed, it's no wonder that my experiments failed to excite the thing. Meaning, if the sign of purity is a repository for the power of innocence, Dominus could never have wielded it, being steeped as he was in the opposing power of the beast. You, though, you're a different matter entirely.
In reality, the beast isn't, corruption. It's a god suppressor. Spoilers. I'm kind of expecting you to have watched at least, the Fall of Ori playthrough I previously did, or have played this game before. I try and keep it somewhat spoiler-free so you can see things happen. But I'm sorry, loose lips think loose lips really spoilers.
People have talked about the return of the gods since the birth of Oriath. It's a gambit employed by charlatans to fleece the weak-minded and morally desperate. Or so it seemed. Avarius and his Templar drones now greet the dawn filled with power and glorious purpose. Kitava has risen from whatever ethereal cesspit he's been hiding in for the last few millennia. So what let the cats out of their proverbial bags? I'm a scholar, not a prophet. Yet there's one occurrence that absolutely reeks with evidential causality. You killed the beast.
Don't sound so fucking happy. I got a knife. I know how to fucking use it. This thing needs strength, right? Yeah. Okay. Here's perfect. Point here. I can just bung this here, and then my molten strike will do 15. I'll do 50% more fire damage, and molten strike will be that bit burlier. If the order fires 3 projectiles, it will fire a fifth now, and so will the 3 the ancestral call targets. So 15 balls will be flying instead of 9. Christ.
Hello. You really don't have a strong grip on cause and effect, do you? Things replace other things. It's the most fundamental of laws. The larger the thing you remove, the bigger the rush to fill the space it's left behind. Innocence was the nexus of power in Oriath. Remove him and something of equal or greater power was always going to take his spot. Any idiot could have predicted that Kitava was going to be that something. Unless, of course, you thought it was going to be you.
Or I could have thought it was going to be another god. Or, I don't know, Richard Dawkins. You know, it could have been him, you know. Well, following multiverse theory, you know, that is canon somewhere.
Dominus adopted Chitter's Cathedral as his personal laboratory. He decked it out with everything his miraculous mind could conceive of. His great work in Psalm, that which you destroyed, it all began there. Farewell.
We're glad you made it. No, damn it all, that's just too strange to abide. I'm glad you made it. And Innocence tells me I need to keep helping you. So that's what I'm going to do. I know my way around weapons and armor, and all things Templar if you should want for further enlightenment on that subject. As for Innocence, I don't know. Sometimes he makes sense, other times he's a shattered god, but he'll heal. I'll make sure of that. Lani's told me a little about Utula and his cult of Kitava. Enough to know what Utula's got planned. Bring about the fall of one god so he can raise up one of his own. And this Kitava, from what fragments I can piece together from Innocence, he's not the benevolent kind.
Nor was Innocence.
Please, find Utula and stop him. I'm not saying this because I want to put Innocence back on his divine throne. I'm saying this because Oriath is my home. It's made some mistakes, but it doesn't deserve the fate that Utula has in mind.
To be fair, yeah, he is right.
I'm having a little trouble explaining it myself. I've never been the most devout of men, especially for a Templar, more of a soldier than a believer. But now, Innocence himself rests within me. His voice is weak, barely a whisper, yet still he has the power to keep us safe from Kitava's hunger. At least for now. For my part, I'm simply grateful. Grateful that I have a god watching my back, and grateful that he's given me the power to watch others in return.
Having a god as your buddy? Yeah, that's pretty nice.
For a long time now, I thought my god's intentions were being twisted by his supposed servants. Did I speak up? No. The pyre would have been my only answer. I did what I was told and drew the lines of morality where I could. Now I understand the truth. It wasn't Innocence's intention being twisted. It was Innocence himself, perverted by the selfish convictions of the men and women who worshipped him. A god answers to the believer, as the believer answers to their god.
I actually really like that. I think that's actually a really cool kind of thing, you know? Like, especially as you learn that Banon is actually bringing out the best in Innocence. You know? He's actually a real positive influence on Innocence. Makes him a much better god. And actually, I think that's... I know, I like that. It's a cool idea. Because it's always focused on, you know, what, you know, how the devotee changes in like, it's, you know, models himself after the god. It's just interesting to see how the god is affected by the devotee.
The sign of purity. Let's see. A staff bathed in innocent blood. No. Sorry, bathed in the blood of Innocence. Yes, Innocence gave a part of his divine self to the thing, and gifted it to the Templar. Now that I recall, I read a tome about it when I was a cadet. Bloody long time ago. I skipped most of the boring pages, so only remember the bit where High Templar Maxarius smote with flame the army of the faithless, with one ray of its hallowing light. The book's words, not mine. Outside of my humble flesh, the sign of purity is about all that's left of Innocence. Devotion should be honored, I suppose. For centuries now, the Templar have boiled the flesh and skin from the devout, and presented the polished remains for public appreciation in the ossuary. Personally, I think it's one of the better ways to remember those who have gone before us. To touch the bones is to remember neither the legend, the legacy, nor the lies. It reminds you that those bones belong to a man or woman. who was just like any other man or woman.
Though at the same time, it's a little bit gribbly. It really depends on how it's done. Like the Aztec, well, they weren't doing it to honor people. It was a look how look how badass we are. But they had like walls that were just like filled with skulls from their conquests.
I'd be lying if I said my hands were clean of slavery's blood. I was a soldier. I went where Dominus ordered me to go. I sailed with the expedition to Namakanui, killed Karui warriors, and rounded up Karui captives like every other bastard in a Templar uniform. So I don't blame Lonnie for wanting to take back her freedom, and I don't blame her for believing Utula's lies either. I certainly swallowed enough of Dominus's falsities to sicken my soul. It's what we do now that matters. I can see that Lonnie's heart is in the right place, and for once in my damned life, so is mine. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't trust her. Yeah, I've got my reasons. Piety kept her work pretty quiet, but her results were brutally clear. The people she took, the people she changed. Slaves mostly, and a few enemies of God. Enemies of bloody Dominus, more like it. I don't go in for black and white definitions of good and evil, but with Piety in her ilk, I make an exception. Whatever's lurking inside Violenta, it ain't good. Not by a long shot.
Again, I like Bannon.
Good luck out there.
Bannon claims that a god now lives inside his head and talks to him. What's more common? Divine possession or insanity?
Well, given the
I'll leave you to calculate the odds.
well, given the expansion, I'm gonna go on the former.
Now, where was I?
Bannon is unexpected. At least, he's not the sort of Templar that I'm used to dealing with. His ideas about innocence almost make sense to me. The way he worships innocence and receives such power in return, it's like his devotion actually brings out the best in his god. But how is that possible? A god is a god. They bless us and they punish us, not the other way around. Yet for Bannon, somehow it's different.
Probably because the god's like lodged in his head.
The King's Feast is an ancient ritual born of less enlightened times. Long before the Karui followed the way, one tribe would conquer another and a feast would be prepared for the triumphant king. The main dishes of this feast were selected carefully for the sweetness of their nature and the tenderness of their flesh. You see, when the conquered fills the belly of the conqueror, two tribes become one. And that's what's happening out there in Theopolis right now. The tribe of Kitava is feeding upon the tribe of Oriath, and the feast won't end until two tribes become one.
And to be fair, I think that is part of the way, given how, remember we were learning about Calm and all that. I think that it was actually part of the way, them eating each other to appease the ancestors was actually part of the way. At least that's what I have always figured. Because they're always going about the Karui way, and a really old tradition where we eat each other. Because that'll fix things. So, yeah. No. Basically, I'm thinking, maybe Lonnie's wrong here. Like, she was like, oh, she's trying to angle that the dude's just insane. Like, she was wrong. So, wonder if this lady's wrong. Because, where, like, who... unreliable narrator is a thing, A character's having a limited knowledge of a topic is a thing, They aren't, it is, it's not unknown for a character, to have a, flawed concept of a thing. So, I think she's wrong about it not being parted away, given how it seems other cannibalism was parted away. Seems. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's how I always took it. Though I suppose they never said it was explicitly parted away. Maybe I just again read it wrong. One reason I'm going on devoting as much time as I am to this is because I feel awkward about it. Just, being wrong and all that.
Remember what Utula said about Kitava?
It just, any culture has cannibalism as part of what they do, like, oh no, shit's going wrong. Let's eat each other. Always kind of rubs me the wrong way. It just, well, not rubs me the wrong way, but it's, I don't know, just the cannibalism thing is, as you would expect, a bit of a unnerving topic, and it just, when your go-to things is to start eating people, I'm not really the most inclined of being, most, Christ, what's the word? The most, looking at the most positive side of things, Like, you can be optimistic and look at the positive side of a matter. But when you start, when your go-to options is, well, I suppose it's not very go-to, but whatever. When your options there is, we'll start eating people. Yeah, I'm just kind of like looking at everything you do with the, when are they going to start chomping on someone? It's kind of like a zombie being like, oh no, I'm fine, and just randomly drooling on people.
Remember what Utula said about Kitava? He is the tormented one, destined to rise up from the darkness, and we, his children, rise with him. It was there all along, in eyes too bright and smiles too wide. Cunning concealed by kindness. Conquest wearing the mask of freedom. I didn't see it because I was looking for something else. Hope. The cult only wanted what it's always wanted. To be born again in their father's image. They are Kitava's children, the first of his tribe. Unless you do something about it, they won't be the last.
I guess that's what happens with the guys outside who have now the X's on their face. But yeah, oh, is that like a hole in the back of her top?
Remember, we do this for freedom.
Oh no, that's her hair. So there's like a hole and like bloodied flesh and like a weird like mark going across the back, stitching kind of thing. Let me just check something here. Just seeing if there's a good spot to put the jam. Oh, I never did grab that. I guess I just never thought I needed it. But yeah, what do I want to say? Here, give me a moment.